is a great striker, yes, but does he have the lightning quick knockout power and kicks that Yair does? No, it's a completely different puzzle. So I think Volk has his hands full, but he's the kind of guy who rises to challenges every single time. He shows up better. He's only getting better. I do think that the Islam rematch is going to happen sooner rather than later. And as you know, I have close personal ties to Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley fight. Aljo has said if he wins, he's going to move up. Aljo and Volk, to me is a huge fight. Aljo versus Yair, I think it's pretty predictable how that fight goes. And then looking at it from this weekend's perspective, Josh Emmett just had a terrible loss to Yair. Yair made him look like pretty pedestrian in that fight. So there's levels at the division, at the featherweight division. I think you're going to see it this weekend as well. We're not going to do bigs for this weekend, but my pick would be Ilia Topuria. I think he puts away Josh Emmett fairly early, just based on what I've seen. But, I'd be happy to be wrong. And just to see the featherweight division continue to thrive is entertaining.
Yeah. Dude, it's just all these cards are so stacked for the worldwide leader. It's just unbelievable. Bo Nichols on that card, International Fight Week. But I will say International Fight Week, we really want to get a Remember the Show tournament going. Very similar to tonight, quick. And it's going to be competitive. We got to have some real prizes. But anyway, fighters, coaches, MMA personalities, media. We have plenty of people that have been on the show before. I don't know if the field is going to be 64, 32, but hit us up in the comments. We have a new Twitter handle at Remember the Show. We're going to be out there at International Fight Week, hopefully releasing the bracket. Bully B, you can be sure will be a big part of this, but hopefully we're going to have a bracket that'll get down to a Final Four and ultimately a champion with prizes along the way. So, Cody, you want to drop anything on that before we move on?
Well, the plan is for us to do a live show. So if anybody is going to be out there International Fight Week at the Fan Expo, during that week, something like Thursday or Friday, we'd love to get a huge crowd going and just take the show global. That's the plan. Take it to the masses. And we've already got, verbal commitments from guys like Jamal Hill. And as you just saw, Dan Ige, Eric Nixick, I think we're going to have a star-studded capability there at International Fight Week. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to.
No question. And I think we got to, take the number one seeds from episode 100 and just sort of move it forward from there. So we got Nixick, Adrian Yanez, Aaron Bronstetter, Jamal Hill as the number one seeds. Just, throwing them a bone for being prior winners and being on episode 100 and just see how it shakes down from there. So I can't wait. Moving on, ballers. Okay, so this basketball game that happened last year during International Fight Week, I had COVID. I wasn't able to get out there. My brother did this thing at the Houston Rockets practice facility with Daniel. Oh, yes! I just knew I was going to see that face. What is up, kid?
Dang, I was hoping I would catch you guys before the game show was over with.
Dude, and it went so well, dude. So Nixick's on at 8:29. And then Ige's on when it pops up in the open. So we just rolled, and then Puna right away. But now we get the star of the program. Remember the name, back in Chicago, back from Mexico, correct?
Yeah, right. Just got back, man. I thought I was gonna make it. Then I got through customs line, and the customs line was long as heck. And I was like, fudge. So then I was like, all right, let's speed home real quick. And I was like, let's see if we can make it happen. And I was like, all right, 7:30. Usually they'll get on at like 7:50. But then I saw like on Twitter that they got on early. I'm like, oh crap, they were on.
Dude, we would have kept him on if we had known you were coming. So how is
coaches
Mexico?
Coaches are always on time. It's the fighters you got to worry about.
Yeah. How is Mexico? Welcome back.
I appreciate you. Man, it was nice. Cool out there. It was steaming hot out there. But it was cool to get like different looks, different training, different environment. It felt like a tough house, like Mexican version of the Ultimate Fighter house. Like we were just training in the morning. We'll wake up at like 6 a.m., go for like a long jog, come back to the gym, hit a little bit of weights, then have a practice, then go to the beach for a little bit and then train again at night. So it was super nice. I didn't have to worry about nothing, just chilling, eating, and training. That's what I love to do best.
I tell you, there was one shot of you on the boat with Yair and Nacho, and it brought me so much happiness to see the three of you just on a boat in that spot, man. Because all three of you are just at amazing moments in your careers,
Man, it was so fun. The boat ride, we were supposed to go snorkeling, and these guys are just like reckless. The guy's telling them like, don't go past this rope. They jump in right away. Yair's swimming into like near the cave. They don't have life vests on, and then me and Nacho are looking at each other like, all right, let's get our life vests on. We're like clipping it in. Mike Bailey, Yair, and his like cousins are like swimming with no fins on, no life vests, just snorkels. And I was like, bro, somebody's about to die right now, and they're not going past the ropes. I'm trying to be like the mother. I'm like, yo, hey, I don't think you go past this line. And they're in the middle of the thing swimming. So I'm like, all right, me and Nacho stuck together. We played it safe. We made it home safely. Thankfully, everybody made it safely, so we're cool with that. Coach Mike almost drowned though. I'm like, you're jumping in the water. You don't have fins on, and you don't have a life vest on. He's like, throw me a vest. And these guys are on the boat. They threw it. The wind like blows it to the other side of the water. So the boat, I had to like do a U-turn and go find them to go pick them up.
Dude, stop messing with Mother Nature. Mike Valley, you got a couple guys fighting for the belt. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, we need you, kid. Come on.
Next thing you know, they got submarine tickets. They're like, let's go.
Bro,
oh, man.
Dude, I was sitting there. Yair was like, hey, do you want to go do you want to go bungee jumping? And I was like, wait, what? I was like, nah, anything on water or land, I'm cool with, but like bungee jumping, I'm not. He said, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you know, I was like, you want to go bungee jumping around? I said, yeah, we could go skydiving or something. I was like, bro, you're nuts. I was like, but that's his life, right? He's like, he loves the adrenaline, the hype, and you know, he lives that way, and it's amazing because I said you get that different experience, and even training with him was so cool. To be down there and just get his looks, because I tell people, man, I'm like, people are sleeping on him, but his style is so different. His looks are so different, and there's nobody that Volk's going to be able to bring in to emulate what Yair is going to do. And the people that are sleeping on that boy, they're going to be awoken International Fight Week.
Dude, I agree. And just before you came on, it's like I'm shouting from the rooftops. Anyone that'll listen, like Yair is a problem here, but there are not a lot of people listening, man. I love Volkanovski. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's Yair's time, man. And I don't really make picks, but man, I think he's got a great chance. I think that was a special performance against Emmett, regardless of where Josh Emmett was.
And he looked great against Josh Emmett, better than anybody's looked against him. And the way with Max Holloway as well, you know, he sat out there and he made Max Holloway become a wrestler against him. Max Holloway had to shoot takedowns on him. And I'm like, Max doesn't shoot unless he's uncomfortable in a stand-up. And Max is never uncomfortable in stand-up. But you know, when you got a guy that's throwing those kicks at you, coming out from different angles, you know, he's unpredictable with everything he does. And like I said, man, people are sleeping on him, but Volk has never fought anybody like him. Volk's beating some of the best guys ever, right? But he hasn't fought a striker like Yair at all. There's no. I was sitting there trying to watch tapes and trying to figure out like, oh, let me see him against some sort of kicker or guy that moves like Yair, and there's nobody on his resume with that.
Dude, a healthy, active Yair Rodriguez. All right, so we were about to talk about this basketball tournament, which seems like a fucking excuse my language, a little underground these days. We don't know what's happening with this basketball game, but it's like, you know, Jamal Hill, Phil Rowe. I guess Phil Rowe talking at the fighter meetings today, Bully. You know, because when we first had Phil Rowe on this show, he was talking about how, you know, that was his sport, right? And it's like DC just trying to gobble up these guys. So if we're working with Belal Muhammad, Jamal Hill, like Cedal Ghan can play, I'll reach out to Cedal Ghan. There's a lot of these guys that can play. So we just need to know what we got to do. Michael Chiesa, I love you, but I don't think he's going to be on the squad. I don't know if you saw him in Houston back in the day, if you remember. But anyway, so I know I'm rambling here a bit, but Bully, we were talking about the tournament. All those guys are. Nixick was on the show, so obviously he's in the tournament as a 1 seed. Ige, Puna beat him, by the way. I know.
Oh, really? Was it a good game?
Puna, you know, Ige was straight flat chilling in Hawaii. Not a care in the world.
Oh, he's in Hawaii?
Yeah, so he's just couldn't be happier coming off his win. His dad just met his son for the first time on Father's Day, so he was chilling. Oh, nice. Puna was locked in. He did say Puna, and I hadn't seen anything out this, but anything out here, but his fight, there wasn't much information about why he wasn't fighting. And he did say, and remember the show, he got a little dinged up, maybe an alleged concussion, to use his words.
I messaged him beforehand when I saw his thing, because I was just training with him the other week. I was in Vegas and he was looking good. But yeah, I tell people, man, like the training is the hardest part in this sport. You have to fight to train to fight, and that's where all the injuries come from. That's where your body gets broken down, and all it takes is one wrong move, and you end up getting pulled out of a fight. So that's why you're blessed to make it to a fight night. You're blessed to be like, that's when I'm like, I can breathe now. It's like, this is where we have fun. This is where the training, all of it, that work is like, all that stuff is work. Now this is like, all right, we're here now. This is the day. This is where you guys can congratulate me for making it to this day.
Yep. Well, I saw go ahead, Cody.
Like sometimes during fight week and you roll your ankle and going into the biggest fight of your life, you know, but you got to show up on Saturday. You sign the contract, baby.
And nobody cares. People can sit there and say this or that, but nobody cares what excuses you have. So you can't even really say nothing about it. But like I tell people, man, like when you got guys like Aljamain Sterling fighting back to back like this close. You're like, you guys got to respect them for doing a 5-week camp and then be like, all right, I'm going to turn around again and do it one more time and cut all that weight again, because there's a lot of guys that aren't willing to do that.
100%. Dude, how's that ankle with all that jogging in Mexico? Good at 100% or what?
Bro, these guys, first of all, it was like 100 degrees out there, and it's like, it's a different type of heat. I'm dripping, and then Nacho and Mike Bailey, they run fast, and then Nacho's like taking a video, and he's like, I'm like 10 minutes behind both of them, and he's like, where did Belal go? And I'm like, bro, but they don't care about the people on the streets too, that the cars, they don't care. Like, they're going to sit there and keep going if you're trying to jog in the middle of the street. I'm just trying to be safe, make it home safely. I'm kind of going on like nice little stroll.
Seriously.
These guys are trying to go 7-6-minute miles. And I was like, bro, you guys can make fun of me if you want, but I'm going to make it to the gym safely.
Yeah, dude, some of that pace is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'm glad you hopped on, man. We would, if we had known you had this much of a chance, we would have pushed that show back. But we're, you know, what I've been saying, we're trying to do a game show every week. And I do think that AI though, Cody, that AI, it's like, so we had, he had Erica Nixick, right? But they're tough, but
really,
but they're tough to the point where it's like, I don't know, unless you're getting a hint, I don't know how you're going to get it. But dude, you gotta love Nixick logging in right at 8:29, and then Ige's there at 8:30. I'm thinking I'm hosting the. Yeah, there.
No way, dude.
So he guessed Brock Lesnar, which was a decent guess.
She's a 4-time.
I
think that's Nick Mangold's sister.
Yeah, right. It's yeah.
She's a 4-time Olympian power lifter or something.
Dude, exactly.
Bro, looks like that girl from the Monster movie.